Hello, gorgeous. Welcome to HG Radio, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration. Here is your co-founder and host, Kim Becker.
Hello, gorgeous, and thank you for joining us today. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and this is Hello, Gorgeous, everything beauty, cancer, and inspiration on Society Bites Radio, social interaction for the mind and soul. This episode is brought to you by Amplified Marketing Group. They specialize in affordable mobile solutions that will get you noticed and help you retain customers. Check them out at yourphoneguy.com. Our guest today is Riley Halfman. Riley has worked at Douglas J Salon and Spa in Okemos, Michigan for over 12 years. She is a hair designer, educator, and salon coach. Her passion is fueled by her drive to always do better for her guests and her team because they deserve it. She currently lives on a farm with her husband, Joe, of 11 years, and their 1.5-year-old daughter, Allie, and their dog, Millie. Hi, Riley, and welcome to the show.
Hi, Kim.
How are you?
Good. It's a rainy day here in Michigan, but we are doing well.
Good. Well, I am so excited to have you on the show and share about the work that you do with Douglas J and the work that you do with Hello Gorgeous. And so the first question I have for you is, how did you even get interested in the beauty profession?
Well, I actually wasn't going to go into the beauty profession right away.
Okay.
Which is, many hairdressers have that story. But I started off at Michigan State University, and I was majoring in packaging engineering, and just kind of felt like something was missing. I always loved doing hair, but I grew up in a very small town, and I didn't really think you could make much money at it. And Douglas J, one of our schools, is actually right across the street from Michigan State University. So I popped over there one day and did a tour. And the moment I walked in, I just fell madly in love and decided that that's where I had to be.
Wow. Well, mine is, when I graduated from high school, I wanted to be an attorney. And, back in the day, I'm older than you. And so way back when, college saving plans and 529, nobody was even thinking about saving for college. And so my parents were like, that's great. If that's what you want to do, become an attorney, that's fine, but you're on your own. You got to figure out a way to pay for it. And I was working as a receptionist at a tanning salon, and they had hair stations there too. And so the girls that were there talked me into going to beauty school. And they said, you could go to beauty school and literally pay for your way all the way through your undergrad as well as your law school, and never have to take out a student loan because you could be cutting hair on the dorm floors or find a job in a salon, whatever it would be. And so that's what I did. Was I had gone to beauty school, and then I never looked back. I never did become an attorney. So, but that was, sounded like a good plan at the time. So, but it's funny, right? When like when that that's what you're supposed to do, you just know that that's what you're supposed to do. So I think that's awesome.
Yes, absolutely. So, I think there's definitely a calling to this profession for sure.
I think so too.
You have to do it.
You have to love it, and you have to have a heart. I think that there's a lot of compassion because you really are, they say a therapist and a psychologist, and you do a lot of talking, but you do a lot of listening too. And, I know when I was behind the chair for a long time, and maybe that's what drew me so much to Hello Gorgeous and Women with Cancer. But, so many times, like I was the first person to know that they were diagnosed with cancer, like before their husband or their parent or, whoever it would be, they would come into me first. And maybe they didn't even have an appointment. Maybe it would just be, can I stop by the salon for a minute? And I was the first one to find out that they had cancer, but they knew that we are trusted individuals, right? And I think it's the relationship that you build with these clients that makes you that trusted person.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
So tell us a little bit about the history of Douglas J.
So Douglas J actually has a pretty rich history, I would say. Doug and his wife, Sharon, opened their first salon actually 53 years ago. So in 1967, believe it or not.
Wow.
And they only started with 4 stylists and 1 nail technician and 1 receptionist. They later grew much larger, into what we call, I guess, our flagship salon here in Okemos. And we now have 100 people on staff.
Wow.
And Sharon spearheaded opening up our spa end of our salon. So we are fully functioning with nails and estheticians, massage therapists, hair. We have also expanded. We have actually 5 salons. Okemos is the largest. The other salons are a little smaller, where they only have 6 or 7 chairs. But Doug also, he felt there was a need to have better education for hairdressers. And in, 1986, so that's about 34 years ago, he opened his first school in Lansing. And that has expanded into 6 schools. So there are 5 in Michigan, 1 in Chicago, and then 1 in Knoxville, Tennessee.
Wow. And so do they recruit then for their salons from the beauty schools? Do they find that the majority of their stylists come from that, or do they come from other beauty schools as well?
Yeah, actually, absolutely. I would say 90% of our staff are from our schools, actually. I think they, get the passion for Douglas J at the school, and then they decide they want to come and work for us. They know we are heavy on education. Once you come to our salon, you go through another education program. But I will say something that's kind of cool, or that I've always thought was kind of cool, was in our interview process, we don't have you cut hair for us or color hair as a tryout. Doug's philosophy was always, I can teach anyone how to cut hair and color hair, but I can't teach somebody to be a good person and to show up on time and, be there for our guests. So I think that's kind of a cool difference about us.
Well, and you obviously have created a culture. I was a hairdresser for 30 years and owned my own salon for 10 years. And we did the whole full service salon, and we did where we had commission stylists, and then we did independent contractors, and then we did a mix of both. And the profession has changed. It's evolved over time. It's certainly not the same that it was 30 years ago when I got into the business. And the fact that you guys have 5 salons, 5 locations that are still commission based says a lot about your culture, because it's just, there are so many, independent contracting and a lot of the sweet businesses that have emerged over the past 15, 20 years. That wasn't even a contender when I owned my salon. So the fact that you guys have been able to weather that through that competition, I think it's incredible, the culture that you created.
Oh, it's honestly, it's been amazing. I mean, it's family owned. Doug actually did pass away 2 years ago, so we do miss him. But his 2 sons, Scott and TJ, have taken over the business, and they've been running the business for many years now. And it's been incredible what they've been able to grow and evolve it into.
That's awesome. So how long have you been in your position, and what exactly do you do for Douglas J?
So I have worn many hats in my career. So I'm in my 13th year right now, and I started as a designer. So we do specialize at our salon, whether you cut or color hair. And I was behind a chair for about 10 years. I was an advanced educator for 5 years. And then I've been a salon coach for about 3 years now. So my job just kind of consists of helping to develop all of our staff, mainly our younger staff, with goal settings. And, I try to meet with them, as often as I can to help them celebrate what they're doing and going through, and helping them navigate the salon, because it can be a little intimidating when you're new at our salon because it is so large. But I also work with our many teams. We have a huge guest service team that I work with their coach, and we have a couple other coaches that I work with as well, and just trying to really maintain a really good work environment for our team and our guests.
So of all of the hats that you've worn, what has been your favorite hat to wear so far?
I think right now is my favorite because I really am involved with just trying to make things better. It's learning because, as you know, the salon industry is constantly changing, and there's always something new popping up, and trying to just be better, and make sure that we still have that point of difference from Sally's salon down the street.
Mm-hmm. And so do you still work behind the chair too, or are you just a full-time coach for the up and coming stylists?
I do 1 day a week, actually.
Okay.
Cut hair.
And I think that that's good because then you can relate to what the younger up and coming team may have, whether it's a challenge with a salon guest or whether it's, skills or whatever. You can speak to that because you're actually walking the walk.
Absolutely. Because that is the hard part. When you have newer staff come on, they don't know your story. They don't know, how long you were behind the chair for so long. And, and it's nice that they still get to see me doing that once in a while.
That was my favorite. Like I said, we had done it all where we would take stylists that had existing clienteles. We would take stylists that had just come out of beauty school and then train them and build their chair and build their book. And that, I have to say, that was like my favorite. I enjoyed getting them out of school. I enjoyed watching them evolve into these incredible stylists. And when I would get the stylist out of school, I would always say to them, look, I'm training you to be better than me. My job is to not make you me, or not to be a mini Kim. Yes, there are things that I to our brand, I want you to make sure that you can speak to those. But for the most part, I really, that's my job, is to train you so that you become a better hairstylist than I ever was. That was really, truly in my heart of hearts what I wanted to be able to do.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and that's what I tell them all the time, because sometimes they get caught up in, oh, I want to be just like this person or just like this person. And I'm like, no, just take a little bit from that person, a little bit of that person, and become yourself.
That's
because
right.
Nobody's going to do it better than you.
That's right. Well, and I think even too, the way that you talk to a guest or relate to a guest, they come to you for you, they come to you because of who you are and the personal story that you have, not necessarily because they're your neighbor, because if they liked your neighbor, they would go to your neighbor's chair,
Right.
And so it really is about developing that relationship too. So how are you guys doing? Like, we're in the middle of this COVID-19. I know Michigan has been you guys are still not open yet, correct?
Correct.
And
Yes,
so are you going 8 weeks now that you've been closed?
I believe so. Yeah. Yep. We've
Is
been
it
on
8?
for 2 months. We were hoping to open June 1st, but we're just kind of waiting on what the governor is going to mandate. We've heard that salons in Michigan aren't going to open until phase 5, and that we're currently in phase 3. So we are just crossing our fingers and hoping that they open us sooner, but we'll just have to kind of see what happens.
And what have you guys done as like management to kind of keep everybody engaged and to keep spirits up and to really encourage that team, even if it's, long distance? What have you guys done to do that?
So we've done a couple things. We have this great system called Teams, and it's similar to Skype, where we can get everybody from actually all our locations on.
Oh, wow.
And we have what we call coffee breaks every 2 days a week. Usually they are Mondays and Fridays at like 9 a.m. And, Scott and TJ, the owners, are on there, the CEO, everybody is on there in our higher leadership. And they're able to, communicate to us what's going on, what they know, and then we are able to, ask questions that we have going back and things like that. We've also asked our team members to stay active on social media, try to take some online classes if they can, just to keep their skills sharp. So we also have meetings throughout the week on that to kind of touch base to see what everybody's up to, if they have any, really great classes they took that somebody might be interested in, trying to stay in tune with that. And then we also do, I know just our single salon in Okemos, we have a once a week on Zoom, we have a call just for anybody to get on, just to say hi and keep that team kind of tight.
And I think that that's the biggest thing is just communication. I mean, so you guys are doing it right. That's really to stay in communication with your salon guests, to know that, hey, we want to be with you as much as you want to be with us, but then also just making sure that you keep up morale with the team, and doing as much as you. So you guys sound like you're doing a great job.
Thanks. We're trying our best, because you're right. Communication's key. You don't want anybody to feel like they're left in the dark.
That's right. That's right. Or that they don't know what's going on, or, what the procedure is going to be. Everybody's nervous about what's going to happen when it's get back. So this last Monday was the first Monday that Indiana opened. And I know that a lot of, my friends, and we've got some executive team members that are in the salon still, and they, did everything they could, but, it's rescheduling everybody. You can't do anything until you've been given that go date. You're just really in a holding pattern. You can't reschedule anybody. You can't, you may have an idea as to what the rollout plan of reopening is going to look like, but until you get that date in place, you really can't do anything. So you kind of have to prepare, knowing that it's going to be a shotgun start as soon as as soon as you get the word to go.
Oh, absolutely. And we don't know what's going to be mandated on us.
Right.
We've reworked our schedule so that we can social distance, sitting every other chair. So I can now have only 10 colorists on at a time and 12 designers on at a time.
Wow.
So we're reworking schedules. Our reservation staff is doing a tremendous amount of work right now, and I give them all the props in the world, because they're having to reschedule 200 guests a day for us right now. It's crazy, but our guests have been wonderful and kind and understanding, so we do really appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. And that makes it easier. I mean, that makes it, and you work hard for them, and they appreciate that work. I think that they'll appreciate everything that you do to get them back in.
Yeah, I think so too.
So tell me a little bit, like, how did you guys get involved with Hello Gorgeous?
So I was not there when this happened, but from my understanding, one of the owners, Scott, he was at a skincare show, and I believe he was talking to KPS, which is an affiliate of Hello Gorgeous. And they started talking to them about Hello Gorgeous and what it all entailed. And he kind of, started running with it, and it kind of became a passion project for him. And we got it started in Okemos because we were the only salon at that time that was a full service salon, where we did have nails and estheticians and colorists and designers, so that we could take on the full makeover.
And what has been your favorite makeover so far?
So far, there's been a lot of them, but I will say my favorite it was actually kind of cool, and I never done this before, so I was kind of scared to put it on, but we did a mother-daughter makeover, and it was kind of cool because we were able to plan it the day after Mother's Day.
And so tell me a little bit about, like, what happened. Did you surprise them out? Did they come to the salon? How did that work?
So they came to the salon. The daughter actually had just arrived back in Michigan. I think she was in Florida. So she was exhausted, and, they walk into the salon, and here we are, and all of their family is there. Sometimes, people have like one or two people that meet them at the salon. Sometimes it's their whole family. We encourage whatever you would like. And, they were all there, and they just step into the salon, and they're like, oh my gosh, like, what's happening? And we're like, Hello Gorgeous. And, we give them their, beautiful bouquet of flowers, and they just started bawling, and they were like, oh my gosh, are you serious? Like, both of us? What? And I'm like, yes, we're going to pamper you both. And, this is going to be such a fun day. And, it was pretty cool.
We've done that before too. We did a mother-daughter. The mom was diagnosed with breast cancer first, and then the daughter was diagnosed with a lymphoma. And the mom was having her treatments done up here, and the daughter was having her treatments down in Indianapolis, which is about 3 hours south. And so they went through treatment together. They were able to get that. And I remember when we did that mother-daughter duo, they said, we had gone through so much crappy things together that it was so nice to actually go through something that was positive together. So did your mother and daughter enjoy that time together as well?
Oh, absolutely. They loved it. It was cool because they even wanted to be like in the same changing room to like show each other their outfits. And, it was, you could just tell like their faces were just lit up. And I don't know, it's just so much fun, like to see like when they come in, they're just like, what is going on? And then by the end of it, they're just so excited and happy. And, it's very cool.
So what's been the funniest moment with Hello Gorgeous so far?
So I love to ask the person that nominated them how they got them to the salon, because they have to be a little crafty because it's a surprise. And I had the husband was the nominee or the nominator, and he had told his wife she needed to take the day off of work because he had an insurance thing for work that she had to be there for. And she's like, okay, well, he works for the state. Like, they do weird things. I'm like, okay. And he gives her the address. And mind you, she is a longtime guest of ours. And they're driving, and she looks at the address. She's like, this is to my salon. We are not going to my salon. They're not holding an insurance meeting there. And he's like, yeah, this is the address. And she said, she's like, yeah, I fought with him in the car. Like, we were sitting in the parking lot. And I was like, no, I'm not going in. This is ridiculous. This is not where this meeting is at. And she walks in, and she just starts busting out laughing, which is, the only time I've ever had anybody do that. Normally they cry. And she's like, oh my God, I have to tell you the story of how we got here. Like, I thought my husband was crazy.
Well, and that's what I always say too. I'm always like, lie, cheat, steal, whatever you need to do to get them where we need them to be at the time we need them to be there at. So to this point, what has been the most memorable moment of Hello Gorgeous?
So I think for me, it was our very first makeover. We had actually surprised her at her work, and this was our very first one. We had no idea what to expect. Where she works, they have security where you're not allowed to go into the building. You have to stay at the entryway. So she comes down, and we surprise her, and she's like, I'm not going. No. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what do we do? And then her boss came down and was like, no, I have it all planned. And she's like, no, I can't. I have deadlines. I have this. And, and she was just, so committed to her work, because they'd been so good to her with her treatments. They've let her, take so much time off. She's like, I can't possibly. And her boss is like, well, I made up some funny or some fake work for you so that you really don't have to do that. And so for me, like, that was just like, oh my gosh, I'll never forget this moment.
Wow. I think it's just incredible. And that's the reason that I created the Salon Affiliate Program, is for those stories right there, for the memorable moments and the funny moments. We get to see those all the time being on, my end a lot of times with what we do for corporate. But to watch the salons actually get to go through these, I think is incredible. So thank you for doing all that you do for Hello Gorgeous. You guys are an amazing affiliate, and we're so grateful to have you as part of the Hello Gorgeous family. And thank you for taking the time to actually come on and share your story with me today.
Well, yeah, thanks for having me, and thanks for allowing us to, pass on your dream of this Hello Gorgeous and, make it come to life.
Well, thank you. Well, if anybody has any questions or comments or would like to know more about the guest on our show or for more information about Hello Gorgeous, feel free to contact me at kbecker@hellogorgeous.org or visit our website at www.hellogorgeous.org. And we invite you to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and download our mobile app. Thank you for joining me today on Hello Gorgeous, Everything Beauty, Cancer, and Inspiration. I'm your host, Kim Becker, and until next time, stay gorgeous.
Another beautiful day, walking in the sunshine, spending the time with you. Last night we had a good time, dancing in the moonlight, and loving the night away. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like. I can't imagine what it'd be like without you. I can't imagine that.